So funny.
Hey, how are you? Good. I'm seeing
And granddaughter, Lily Rose.
Hi, Lily. Our statue in the center is not a goddess or a saint. She is simply called Harmony. And the four quadrants of the garden were to represent a different aspect of life. Where the grotto is was the wilderness. Then we've got the grapevines over here, and then there were two others, and I don't recall what they were supposed to represent. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous all summer long. Now everything's pretty well fenced because we had a frost up. Where we grow Concord and Catawba. Anything unless they're really butchered up from the current owners, what you'll see is exactly what the interior of all of these houses look like. So we might as well come on in. And you'll notice on the way in, we've got our boot scraper there to get the dirt off your feet. That's what the slop barrel looked like. It's outside the kitchen. That's where all the water drained into. Wipe your feet. Huh? You gonna wipe your feet? Come on in. Sure. So we're standing in the mud room. This is all of the homes, like I said, on the inside are the same. Sometimes they vary a couple inches in size, but the same things that you saw in the wrap house kitchen is just a little smaller. And you'll notice that they are cooking in a cast iron stove rather than on a hearth. By the 1830s, the stove had been invented, this Franklin stove, and so they all got stoves. There were about 80 households, and 80 stoves were. Now, the floor plan upstairs is identical to the floor plan downstairs. Each household slept about 6 to 8 people, and when you came here, if you came in a family unit, they did not split you up. So you could stay with your spouse and your children, but they recommended that you live as brother and sister, so the men slept in one room and the women slept in the other room. You notice that there's a bed here. This is the cover that I was telling you about. This is the type of cover that they would have had on their beds then. Take off the amount of milk and cream that she needed for her household, and then she would put the rest of the milk outside, and the dairyman would come and collect it and take it to the central dairy, where they would put that in and set up like. This is like any other general store, and everything that's sold in here is something, or we have in here now, is something that the people would have been able to purchase, you know, when the Harmony Society was here. Everybody would gather and pick the grapes, and all of this stuff would be outside, and they would press the grapes and make the wine, and then what we think they did was ran these trucks. The largest barrels, the big dark ones, hold 1,150 gallons. The new lighter ones were actually commissioned. We had a director here in the 1960s who decided he wanted to look into manufacturing economy wine again. And so he commissioned those barrels to be made. They got the process started, and I guess they couldn't get the correct permits or something.
A special pen. Would you like to write? She's going to give you a special pen to write with.
Yes.
Okay, come on over here. Now I'm going to show you, and the grown-ups are welcome to do this too, if you like. I have plenty of paper here. We use this classroom for our children's course. And the way this works is now, wait, let me show you how to do it, because if you're not careful, you'll make a mess, and then your mother will not be happy. Okay, here are some So
You
Kat,
can scoot over and I'll sit next to you.
Old Economy Village, located near Ambridge, Pennsylvania, is one of this country's earliest religious communes. Founded in 1804, it is the story of about 800 followers of George Rapp, who separated themselves from the Lutheran Church in Germany to live what they believed was a Christian lifestyle more in line with the New Testament. They were known as the Harmony Society, and they became world famous. Their community drew visitors from around the world, including German royals and U.S. President Zachary Taylor. Their pious devotion was remarkable, and their hard work transformed their community into an engine of prosperity. They had steam-powered facilities, including textile mills and a laundry. They had numerous craft shops, from cabinet makers to tanners and potters to tinsmiths. Despite their fame and financial success, the society was short-lived. Two prominent reasons for its demise were: one, the religious dogma of celibacy precluded anyone from having children to naturally grow their numbers. And two, there was splintering over dogma, as some of the followers left to form their own community, which didn't last either. It is a fascinating story of people courageously seeking religious freedom, having spiritual, industrial, and economic success, but ultimately disappearing from the face of the earth.